Which of the following is the feature of the population pyramid of a developing country? Option D, there is a short lifespan for a developing country. There is short lifespan. The lifespan is short for individuals in a developing country. So, and that is why, of course, if you look at the other ones, the other options, of course, can be correct. Long lifespan, low birth rate, no. Low death rate, no. So that is why for a developing country, the population is normally huge, because there is actually high birth rate. There is high birth rate in developing countries. So the correct feature here for developing countries among all the options here is short lifespan. An interaction of a community of organisms with its abiotic environment constitutes an ecosystem. An ecosystem is made up of living organisms interacting with the non-living factors. So the correct answer here is C, ecosystem. The vector of malaria parasite is the female Anopheles mosquito, the female Anopheles mosquito. Which of the following instrument is used to measure relative humidity? Relative humidity is a measure of the amount of moisture content in the atmosphere. It's measured using the hygrometer, the wet and dry bulb hygrometer. Okay, so option C is correct here. The exoerythrocytic phase of life cycle of malaria parasite occurs in the liver of humans. Occurs in the liver of humans. Of course, when the mosquito, female Anopheles mosquito bites humans, it injects the parasite into the human blood in form of sporocytes, and these sporocytes invade our liver, okay, where they develop into other forms that will invade our red blood cells. So in the liver of humans, and that's where they are taken to and they develop into other forms. So option A is the correct option here. Habitats are generally classified into aquatic and terrestrial habitats. That's water and land habitats are the two major types, aquatic and terrestrial. Of course, aquatic is further divided into freshwater, marine, and estuarine. And for terrestrial, they're further divided into arboreal, ground habitats, underground habitats. Dracunliasis can be contacted through drinking of contaminated water. Drinking of contaminated water. Dracunliasis, or the guinea worm disease. Of course, if you drink water that is contaminated with the water flea, the water flea can have this guinea worm parasite inside of it, and when you drink the water contaminated with this water flea. Of course, the water flea will be digested in your digestive tract, but the larva of the guinea worm will of course be exposed, and it will penetrate through your stomach, then into the abdominal cavity, where they will develop, they will mate, and of course the female worm will have to move to your limbs, especially the leg, where it will penetrate through the skin, forming very painful blisters in the skin. So we get it by drinking water contaminated with water fleas. The water fleas have this guinea worm inside of them. The larva of the guinea worm is normally found in the water fleas. All right. So go to the next one. Which of the following groups of environmental factors are density dependent? Density dependent factors have to do with the population size, the density of the population. Okay, density dependent factors are usually biotic factors. They are usually biotic, and they have to do with the population size, the density of the population. Okay, so for this, the correct option here is C. Food, predation, accumulation, and metabolites. They are density dependent. Millet, sorghum, maize, onions are common crops grown in Nigeria in the Sudan savanna. In the Sudan savanna, that's where you can see these crops: millet, sorghum, maize, onions in the Sudan savanna. Katsina, Kaduna, Kano, they are in the Sudan savanna. In which of the following biomes is the southwestern part of Nigeria? The southwestern part is in the tropical rainforest. They are in the tropical rainforest, dominated by trees. The tropical rainforest is dominated by trees. Lack of space in a population could lead to an increase in disease rates. 41 is C. Okay, what you can have in a refugee camp, there could be easy spread of diseases. The heritable characters that are determined by a gene located only on the X chromosome is sex-linked. They are sex-linked. Characters that are carried only on the X chromosome are said to be sex-linked. Something like color blindness or hemophilia, they are sex-linked. Okay, so 42 is B. If the cross of the red flowered plant with a white flower plant produces pink flowered plant, is an example of incomplete dominance. It is incomplete dominance, as one allele did not completely dominate the other. Okay, so it is referred to as incomplete dominant. The red did not completely dominate the white flower, so you have a pink flower. That's another phenotype, so it is called incomplete dominance. Which of the following theories was not considered by Darwin in his evolutionary theory? Use and disuse of parts. That's option C is correct here. Use and disuse of parts was proposed by Lamarck, Jean-Baptiste Lamarck. The crossing of individuals of the same species with different genetic characters is known as crossbreeding. Crossbreeding. It's crossbreeding. For instance, if I decide to cross a cow from Holland that can produce a large quantity of milk with the Muturu cow in Nigeria that can produce large quantity of milk but is resistant to tsetse fly, what I'm doing is crossbreeding. I'm crossbreeding them. It's crossbreeding or outbreeding. Okay. The number of alleles controlling blood groups in humans is 4. They're actually 4. We have blood group A, you have B, you have AB, and you have O. Okay, so you have 4 different alleles: IA, IB, IA, IB, and IO. Okay. Sorry, the number of alleles controlling blood groups in humans, not the number of blood groups. Okay, the number of alleles actually 3. So A is the correct option. IA, IB, and IO. IA, IB, and IO. That's 3 different alleles controlling blood group in humans. During blood transfusion, agglutination may occur as a result of reaction between contrasting antigens and antibodies. For instance, if somebody with blood group A donates blood to somebody with blood group B, there will be agglutination because the recipient that has blood group B has antibodies against blood group A. So it will clump the incoming blood from blood group A and it could lead to death of the recipient. Okay, so that is agglutination, the clumping of the blood cells as a result of the reaction between contrasting antigens and antibodies. So the correct option here is A. The fallacy in Lamarck's evolutionary theory was the assumption that acquired traits are heritable. No, they are. So option B is the correct option here. Acquired traits are not heritable. If I decide to start lifting weight and develop big muscles, I cannot transfer that to my offspring. So acquired traits are not heritable. But this was part of Lamarck's theory and is not accepted. So the correct option here is B. The bright colored eye spots on the hind wings of a moth are example of mimicry. Okay, is mimicry, is mimicking the eyes of another organism, and that could make the predators to be scared of coming towards it. Okay. The wings of a bat and those of a bird are examples of convergent evolution. Convergent evolution. When we are talking about convergent evolution, we are looking at two structures that are performing the same function, even though they are from organisms that are distantly related. They are not of the same ancestors. The organisms are not of the same ancestors, but they now have parts that are performing the same function. Okay, the wings of a bat and those of a bird are both used for flying. But of course, birds and bats are not closely related. Bats are mammals. Bats are mammals. And birds, of course, belong to another class of vertebrates.